Now it is the time of Deepavali, and in Deepavali, people clean their houses. That is something that, at least in India, is done very ritualistically. This cleaning of hearths and homes takes place. Now, Baba has told us that you are a soul, and the cleaning has to happen not only on the outside but on the inside also. And the best thing about Baba is not like humans. So humans tell you that this is the problem, and they will give you some fancy idea also sometimes, but Baba gives us very practical methods of how to do it, which humans don't give. So Baba today in the slogan says, when your stock of good wishes is full, a full stop will be put to all waste. So Baba tells us that, Baba doesn't only say that put a full stop to all waste. That we know that it has to be done, but how? So Baba tells us the method. So when your stock of good wishes is full, a full stop will be put to all waste. So Baba says that you have to increase your stock of good wishes. And how do we do that? So there is a very good saying in Hindi that लेने वाले की हैसियत नहीं देखी जाती, देने वाले की देखी जाती है. So it is not the beggar who deserves, it is the giver who has the ability to give. That is why he gives. And I like this very much because it's not when it is when the thing about good wishes come. So the question is not who deserves my good wishes. The question is, who am I? When I am a deity soul, then I have to give good wishes. My feelings, my wishes have to be like me. When I think, my thoughts are a reflection of me. They are my creation, they are my reflection. When I create feelings, those feelings are my creation. And the creation has to match the creator. So my thoughts, my feelings, my wishes, my words, they have to reflect who I am. And Baba says, when you figure out who you are and you figure out how elevated you are, that you are a deity, then you start thinking and creating wishes and feelings in accordance with this self-realization. And when you have realized how elevated you are, then you don't wish anything else other than good. And those good wishes are the only antidote to all the waste thoughts that come. So thinking about the imperfections of people, or thinking about whatever they are doing wrong, or why they are doing what they are doing, all these are the reasons for waste thought. But the thing is, drama is prefixed, and everybody is doing what they are destined to do. Yes, and everybody is doing as they are. and you can't help it, they can't help it, nobody can help it. But the thing is, if you keep shifting your wishes, your thoughts, your feelings according to how other people are, then what will you end up like in the end? That's the question. And there are these three words in Hindi: Swachintan, Shubh Chintan, and Shubh Chintak. So, Swachintan, every day Baba talks about, churning rotating the discus of self-realization. So, Swachintan is thinking about who I am, who I belong to, my virtues, my powers, what is my dignity, what has Baba told me about myself. So Baba says that Swachintan is the basis of Shubh Chintan. So you cannot think or wish or create feelings which are noble, helpful, pure for anybody else until and unless you are thinking about who you are. So if you think that, I think about the other and I think about how good they are and how nice they are and they have this virtue and that quality, and then I will think nicely about them or create good wishes about them, then those good wishes will not be everlasting. Why? Because one day you're in a good mood, you see the good in them, the second day you see something else in them, or everybody has many things. So today you saw one side of them, tomorrow you see another side of them, and then you get disappointed. So having good wishes about the other is not a subject of how they are. Absolutely not. This is something that we have to be very clear about, because when we generally in the world think about good wishes, it is always about seeing specialities in others. But when we say seeing specialities, the speciality is not important, the seeing is important. And the seeing is important, so the seer is important. That's the thing. So who am I? So it is said beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So it is always the seer that matters. And who sees? You see from your consciousness. Yes? How do you see? The soul sees. According to what? According to its consciousness. Yes? So if you know that you are the one who has to see specialities, that's your job, isn't it? Seeing the goodness in everyone and holding it in your awareness and giving them the strength to see their goodness, that's your job. Isn't that your job? Because Baba has given us that job. So Baba says, seeing specialities is my job. It's not because they're special you see the speciality. No, you are the seer. Your consciousness is that everybody is Baba's child. There must be something or the other good in everybody, even if I can't see it. Theoretically I know that everybody is good, everybody is Baba's child, and everybody deserves good wishes. So Baba says that when you know yourself, when you know that your thoughts, your feelings, your wishes are your creation, and when you know who you are and that you're very good, you're excellent, then what do? You create good wishes in every situation, faced with every person. And when you create good wishes, then your waste thoughts are put, a full stop is applied to your waste thoughts. And when you apply a full stop to your waste thoughts, it does you a lot of good. Because anyways, if you keep creating waste thoughts, whose damage is it? You're damaging yourself, your time, your thought is lost, right? Wasting your thought and your time. So Baba says, do this. And you know, it is easier said than done, but in this whole journey, what I have realized is, when I keep thinking about my dignity, and when I keep thinking about who I am, and when I keep seeing myself, in front of Baba, and I keep seeing myself from Baba's drishti. So Baba is always looking at me with a lot of respect, with a lot of hope, with a lot of love, and a lot of faith in me that you are the one. And when I keep seeing myself from that drishti of Baba, then all problems are solved. So it's very important that we sit every day in front of Baba. And what happens when you sit in front of Baba? You see yourself through Baba's vision. You see yourself in a different light. That's very important. When you sit in yoga, when you sit for the murli, then what you are hearing from Baba is about how Baba sees you. Or when you sit in yoga, you see yourself as Baba sees you. You don't try to show Baba what he doesn't see in you. Sometimes, children are saying, no, Baba, you're mistaken. I'm not like what you think. I have this problem and that problem, and I'm like this and that. No, Baba doesn't want to hear what you think of yourself. So, when you sit before Baba, don't talk to Baba about what you think. Think about what Baba thinks. है ना? So Baba से Baba की बातें करो. That's the rule. So when you sit before Baba, just think about what Baba is speaking, what Baba is thinking, and try to embrace that, and try to have a conversation with Baba in that consciousness. So try to think about how Baba would be talking to you, and talk back to Baba in that state of awareness. And this will elevate you. And I have seen that when I came into Gyan, I sometimes felt that, maybe Baba has very lofty ideas about us, and maybe we are too human and too ordinary for that. But slowly, gradually, I have seen that, when so people say that God's drishti is very powerful, and it's not physical drishti. It's, when you sit before Baba for the murli, for yoga, then you can see yourself in Baba's vision, and that seeing affects you, and it starts shifting the way you look at yourself. And when your drishti shifts, so when you start looking at yourself differently, you start looking at everyone and everything differently. That's the law. So today's blessing, today's slogan is very nice, and Baba says, if you have a full stock of good wishes, then all waste thought will be put a full stop to. And then Baba today talks about this law that when your yoga is accurate, you will feel very happy. So the sign of good yoga is happiness. So Baba today says that if your yoga is not accurate, you won't feel that happiness. And Baba says, I have come to remove you from the Shok Vatika, cottage of sorrow, and take you to Ashok Vatika, the cottage of happiness. So you have to have accurate yoga with me. And do you know that happiness is the product of good karma. Yes. And good karma happens when you are soul conscious. And when are you soul conscious? Only when your yoga is with Baba. Otherwise, you're always body conscious. When your yoga is with other people's bodies, other people's relationships with other people, or your yoga is with work, your yoga is with your own body. In every case, you're body conscious. And then you do something which is not good karma. And although when you are body conscious, you cannot detect your body conscious. That's the beautiful thing about body consciousness. So you cannot discern, you cannot detect you're in body consciousness. But when you are body conscious, your yoga is with bodies and relationships and other people's bodies and work and things and your own body. Then the karma you do, the way you think, the feelings you create, the things you do, they are all creating the pathway to sorrow. Yes, so this is what it is. And I will give you one example. So, there is this sister, and she told me that I fell in I fell in love with this person when I was in when I was some 25 years of age. And then she said that we have been together for 20 years now. So we got married after 5 years, and then 15 years of marriage we've had. So it's been 20 years, and now I found that this person has a relationship outside of the marriage for the last 10 years. And now I'm in no man's land, because all my life is my life is shattered. And I said, why is it shattered? So she said that the way I looked at my life always included him. So all that is now false. So maybe I enjoyed an occasion where my husband said that let's go to Missouri. Okay, now I have doubts about that, because now I think that why he told me to go to Missouri might have been a different reason. So now my whole life is a lie. Now I feel that the moments I enjoyed, the moments when I was sad, everything is a lie. So I'm not able to place anything in my life, because my whole life was in this partnership. And now I don't know, I have doubts about the person's intentions. So all my memories are a lie, everything is a lie now. So I said, okay, that's very disturbing. But the thing is, when you have yoga with the body, or when you have the yoga with a relationship, so this is what happens. So ultimately everything, the way you think things are happening, they are not happening the way you think it is happening. And then when that illusion is shattered, and you come to a different place, then you don't even know how to look at your past or how to look at your present, and it takes away all your happiness. So maybe you did a lot of work in office, and then somebody told you that this work was motivated by some wrong agenda, and all the hard work you put in, people were laughing at you behind your back that they have used you in a different way, and they have made you do things which which is to their advantage, and this and that. So Baba says that whenever your yoga is with somebody else, your story is very dependent on their story, their reality, whatever. And then what happens is every time you have a certain perception about them, about the work, about the job, about the person, then your sense of reality starts shifting. And even with the body, you see, if you have too much yoga with the body, then your body is not well, and then you start feeling that you cannot enjoy life, or you cannot have happiness if your body is unwell, because you think that all your enjoyment of life was because of a healthy body. But the thing is, you are a soul, and the happiness you created was your own thoughts, because of your own creation. But we give that power away to everyone and everything. And Baba says that this is why everlasting happiness is not possible when you have yoga with others. And Baba says that you must understand that you are a soul, you have Baba. Baba is the ocean of peace, ocean of happiness, and Baba is constant. Baba doesn't change. So, that happiness also then stays constant. So, Baba says when your yoga is inaccurate, then you cannot have everlasting happiness, and you cannot have happiness which is beyond sensory, and that happiness will also change very rapidly. So this is something that Baba says. So if I the soul want to experience happiness which is super sensuous and everlasting, then having yoga with Baba, and the basis of yoga with Baba is knowing that I am a soul, and knowing that I have all relationships and all attainments from Baba. Yes, so first is I am a soul, and I have only spiritual needs and all my needs are met by Baba, and all my relationships are with Baba. And when you do everything in yoga with Baba, then you are always in happiness. And also Baba is the bestower of happiness, so you will feel that happiness all the time because you're doing things in yoga with Baba. And then today Baba also gives us a cautionary note. So Baba says, don't be a traitor. Yes, and Baba says that so there are two teams right now. So we are an army and we work for God, and then there is another army which works for Maya or Ravan. And what is a traitor? A traitor who is someone who belongs to one army and works for the other. So Baba says, don't be a traitor. Yes, and today Baba says that remember that the Lord is pleased with an honest heart. And when I gave that example of that man cheating on the woman, so I saw all of your faces and you didn't like it. So nobody likes cheating, nobody likes dishonesty. But the thing is, so there are people who cheat, people who are dishonest, okay. But let me ask myself, am I honest with Baba? Yes, because Baba has always been honest with me. Baba has been the bestower from the second I met him, or even before I met him. I didn't know Baba, but Baba has always been the force, the help, the source of power, strength, support for me, somebody who has guided me always. So let me ask myself, am I honest with Baba? Because Baba doesn't demand too much from us. What does Baba say? Be pure, be a yogi. Yes, that's it, nothing else. So am I honest with Baba? Am I really doing what Baba says? And am I Am I doing something on the sly and, hiding from Baba and doing things? Because I know what Baba wants, I know what Baba is expecting of me. So, am I honest with that? That's the question. And Baba says, the Lord is pleased with an honest heart. Is my heart honest? Are my intentions really to be pure, be yogi? Or, I am still into impurity and still remembering people. It's not just out of habit, but also, out of free will. Sometimes we are doing that. And that is dishonesty, that is cheating, that is infidelity with Baba. And Baba says that if you have any devilishness inside you, if you have any lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed inside you, especially lust, then Baba says that will continue to cause obstacles. So, do you know that Baba has created this sacrificial fire, and this fire, this yagya, the light of the fire, is fueled by our purity. So every child, every Brahmin child, the state of being of every child is what supports this sacrificial fire, this yagya. Do you understand that much? That I am a soul who is taking sustenance from Baba, and I'm part of the yagya. So when I am following Srimad, then the light of the yagya is brighter. And when I am doing something based on vices, then the light of the yagya is compromised. So do you understand that there are obstacles in the yagya? There are obstacles in reaching the aim. Why do you think that Satyug is not yet here? Because children are doing things out of devilishness. And Baba says that don't do that, because Baba says if you have any devilishness inside you, that will continue to cause obstacles. And obstacles in what? Obstacles in God's work. So we don't have to do something purposefully, but when we are not doing things according to Srimad, that is also causing obstacles in the yagya, because now you are in the yagya. So Baba says that when these obstacles are caused, then you will receive severe punishment. And Baba says that traitors always receive severe punishment. If you are in Baba's army and doing things, dictated by Maya, then there will be punishment, because that's being a traitor. That one is the supreme judge. Yes, so Baba says the supreme judge cannot let go the traitor. So the traitor will receive punishment, and that too very severe. And I will tell you one thing, in accordance with the example I gave you earlier. So, when there is cheating and dishonesty, the biggest thing is trust is lost. Yes. And do you know, when there is trust, when you win somebody's trust, then you automatically earn a lot of blessings. Yes. So, let's say I trust you a lot, and then somebody comes and tells me that the sister is doing this or the brother is doing this. I'll say, oh no, you must have been mistaken. It's not like that. It's not like that. I trust her. She wouldn't do this. So she's not like that. So you see, trust finishes so many waste thoughts. Trust, trust like just blocks waste thought. And then when there is no trust, then what happens? Anything, anything very slightly also, it'll, because the trust is broken, then what happens is anything happens very slight, even if there is no big reason, the other person's waste thought will start. Probably, they did it the last time, so maybe they are up to it again, and maybe this is the reason, that is the reason, and the other is the reason. And then these waste thoughts, they are the opposite of blessings. So Baba says that, you see, when we do this with Baba, when we don't act honestly, then that trust is broken. And then what happens? We don't receive blessings. So, and when we say Baba, it's always, it's with the whole Brahmin family also. And Baba has told us that you may do things secretly, but they will not remain a secret. So this yagya is such a transparent yagya that even if you're doing something under the table, you might think that over the table it's not visible, but it is visible. So this is the beauty of the yagya. And I gave you one example. So this sister, she was doing something on the sly, and then what happened is she accidentally so she had taken the snapshots of that conversation on WhatsApp, and she was sending it to somebody else, but she accidentally sent it to my number. So, and she told me, it is so bizarre, you are the last person I would send it to, but how I sent it, I don't know. So this is God's yagya. Nothing will stay hidden. And then what happens is, this whole, why do we have this Brahmin family? Why have we come to Baba? To earn blessings, is it not? So, whenever I think of you, what do I give? Good wishes. Because there is a trust that you're doing Baba's work, you belong to Baba. And when their trust is broken, when, we see that, no, this is not it, then all those blessings stop. And then what will you do without blessings? What will we all do without blessings? Because you see, this is a world of punishment and 63 births of karmic accounts. And then what happens? If the love, the blessings stop, then all there is punishment. So Baba, this is why, Baba says, don't be a traitor. And you cannot be a traitor always. Traitors will be caught. You do anything, whatever you think it's a secret, it's not going to be a secret all the time. So this is why Baba says that, once trust is broken, once dishonesty is revealed, then all that exchange of love and blessings, they stop. And when they stop, so even if, in the yagya, nobody will tell you that, of course, nobody will close the door and say, you cannot attend the class or you cannot come to the center from tomorrow. But that drishti you receive, or that love you receive, or that blessings you receive, because there is this relationship, that connection, that stops. So Baba says that this is why, be very honest. The Lord is pleased with an honest heart, and it is my experience in the yagya that you don't have to be anything, you don't have to be special, you don't have to have skills, Baba doesn't need anything. Baba only needs honesty. If you have an honest heart, Baba will just put you on his heart throne. That's it. Yes, and honesty is, listening to Shrimad and acting according to Shrimad. Baba gives us Shrimad for the thought, the mind, the body, the wealth. And Baba says honesty means, knowing that I belong to Baba, my mind, body, wealth belongs to Baba, and it has to be used, and it is permitted to do only what is allowed by Srimad. I am not allowed to do anything which is not Srimad. Yes. So Baba says, and then there is, this question that sometimes we come from bhakti, so maybe we have an image, maybe an image of some deity, some guru, somebody we used to follow in bhakti. And then when we think about Baba, we are meditating, that image comes, yes? So because that's a habit, it comes and it's not a problem. But what you do is, so whoever you think about, maybe Lakshmi ji or some guru, some prophet, whoever it is. So that person is also pointing towards God. Yes, everybody points towards God. So when that image comes, you see them pointing towards that soul, that supreme soul. And then you take your awareness to that supreme soul towards whom he is pointing. So that's the method. So don't get stuck up in the medium. So in bhakti we worshipped many human figures, or many subtle figures in the form of deities, but those were also pointing out towards God. Nobody said I am God. It is only very patit people today who say I am God. I've seen people saying I am God also these days. So there are gurus who say I am God, but that is the height of impurity. But apart from that, when bhakti was also better, then nobody says I am God. They always said that God is one and God is light and I am the messenger of God. So Baba says when you think about, when you start to remember Baba and you are not very soul conscious, then what happens is that figure of that person comes. Then what you do is you remember that this person is also telling me that God is light or God is one, and then you take your awareness to that one God. And the most important thing is you think about I am a soul, I am light, and then it will be very easy to see that my Baba is also just a point of light. Okay, so this is today's Murli. There are many points in the Murli, but I found this very important and interesting. And Baba also talks about spinning the discus of self-realization. And Baba says, so in the first phase of the class today we discussed that when you do Swachintan, Swadarshan, then all waste thoughts about others will also finish. So Baba says all thoughts coming from Maya will finish if you just keep concentrating on who you are. Okay, Om Shanti.